The opposition has launched an all-out attack on the Prime Minister, asking for his resignation as well. But government managers are buying time. Salman Khurshid saying that accountability will be fixed only after the Supreme Court gives its final ruling.
After what the Supreme Court has said today on the Cole report, do you believe that your successor Ashwini Kumar has the moral right to stay on as Law Minister?
I think let's first get the legal picture straight.
Yes.
We can talk about morality later. I think it's important that there are many imponderables and questions that are being raised about the legal picture.
Yes.
The Supreme Court is still in the process of adjudicating this matter. They have made observations that often come during the course of hearings.
Those observations effectively suggest that short of perjury, there's been a breach of trust, as the court says, which involves the government senior law officers and effectively the law minister of the country. Are you saying that in such a situation, one has to wait for the final verdict before any political decision is taken on the law minister's future?
Well, I'm not talking about anyone's future. I'm talking about what the court is doing. And if the court had taken a final view, then there wasn't any need for a further hearing on Monday. Obviously, the court itself hasn't yet been able to make up its mind what it would like to do. It's unfair for us to predict or anticipate what the court will do. I've certainly heard those words, and I've factored them in what I'm saying to you now, is whatever the court may have said at this point of time, prima facie, it might have appeared to them necessary to say that, but let us wait for the court to take a final view.
Mr. Khurshid, I already have with me the letter written by the Additional Solicitor General to the Attorney General, effectively suggesting that the two of them committed perjury for whatever reason, effectively told the court that they had not consulted the political executive on the status report on the Cole report when they had. Now these are the country's two top law officers virtually in a spat with each other. What does this suggest? Somewhere someone has to be held accountable, responsibility has to be fixed.
Rajdeep, I think we are jumping the gun a little bit. Whether responsibility has to be fixed and what the court would like us to do, what we on our own initiative should be doing, these are all things that will happen in due course. Right now, I can only say that I work with both these outstanding lawyers. I'm very saddened by the fact that there should be such a public display of disagreement and such a serious nature of disagreement. I wish that they had spoken to each other and sorted it out.
The opposition not too impressed with that argument, and neither is the legal fraternity. Here's the debate from India at 9.
That the law minister has to resign only if the changes were substantive.
No, I believe the law minister should resign even if there were no changes.
Why?
If he had merely wanted to see
Yes.
the status report
Yes.
without even making any changes in it, it is like an accused being asking the police to show him the case diary of investigations,
Yes.
so that the accused comes to know what the investigation is against the accused.
Strictly speaking, I agree with Prashant that they shouldn't have been shown at all.
Yes.
They are not for grammatical corrections.
I can't see any role of the Joint Secretary from Cole or from PMO looking at the report. Absolutely no. That is interference in the process of investigation.
Is the law minister being preserved at the moment because it is feared that, or it is believed he is the shield for Dr. Singh? That if the law minister is asked to resign today, the opposition will gun for the Prime Minister.
The motive is very clear, that the government is not trying to protect anybody, not trying to change the report as being made out by some people on your panel. If at all that was the case, then the minister would have seen all the 10 reports. He hasn't seen that. The AG himself says in that letter.
Ashwini Kumar was brought in only to protect the Prime Minister, but as they say, with friends like these, who needs enemies?
All right, as the UPA faces charges of using and misusing the CBI, there's more embarrassment coming their way. CBI Chief Ranjit Sinha has gone on record to say that he is a part of the government, his organization is not autonomous, and that he had not shown the Cole report to any outsider, but to the law minister of the country.
We have been asked to file an affidavit by May 6. We will give all the details in the affidavit that is required to be filed before the Honorable Court. I don't think there has been any embarrassment. I think the Honorable Supreme Court has made some observations. We will reply to all the queries that they have made, and I am sure the Supreme Court will take a very reasonable view about the state of affairs. देखिए, मैं सरकार का एक अंग हूँ, मैं कोई स्वायत्त संगठन नहीं हूँ और मैंने किसी बाहरी व्यक्ति को नहीं दिखलाया है, देश के कानून मंत्री को दिखलाया है और इससे जो भी स्थिति उत्पन्न हुई होगी उसके बारे में पूर्ण जानकारी उच्चतम न्यायालय को दे दी जाएगी.
And reactions to that statement came in thick and fast. Here's former IPS officer Kiran Bedi saying that the CBI has chosen not to be independent.
The CBI chiefs have chosen to be not independent. They could have been independent, and in March, the Supreme Court gave such a great opportunity for Director of CBI to act independently. But they chose not to be independent because this is their mindset. The Director of the CBI was categorically duty-bound, law-bound not to share the report with the political executive. He chose to violate the direction of the Supreme Court judgment.